Okay, everybody. I thought that I would create a video around the Gospel Living app and how to use it in your home if you don't have devices for everybody that would like to have access to the Gospel Living information. As youth leaders are communicating out with the different youth groups, they're going to be using Gospel Living. And if kids don't have a device, this is a way that you can have a device in your home that just runs on your Mac or your Windows desktop as an emulator. So this will basically install an Android emulator on your desktop. And then within that emulator, you can launch the Gospel Living app. And I'm just going to show you how to do that. The one that I use here is bluestacks.com. Go ahead and download the software. If you're on a Mac, you would download the Mac version. And I've already jumped ahead and downloaded this, so I'm going to go ahead and just launch it. And I may pause this for a second, but I don't know, maybe not. We'll watch through the whole thing, and you can speed it up if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and hit install. It's going to download a bunch, and then it's going to install, so it's going to take a significant amount of time here for a minute. So while we're getting ready, what'll happen is when you log in, you'll need to set it up just like a device. You'll set up with Google Play, a Google account, and then you'll install the Google Play, and then within the Google Store, you'll go find the Gospel Living app and install it. Log in with your LDS account, etc. So it looks like it's finishing up doing the install here. And then what it'll do is launch itself in a minute. Alright, once the installation is complete, go ahead and launch. Oh, looks like it does launch. And it starts. So this is starting the emulator OS running on top of Windows right now. Of course, this solution is designed for gaming. That's why you're seeing a lot of advertisements about games, etc. Alright, it's going to prompt you to sign in to Google Play. This is where you need to add your Google account. Eventually this is going to stop, and we'll put in our email account for Google. All right, here we are. Oops. Agree there. So it should prompt you to update a couple of the latest apps. This is for the backup and restore for it. Google thinks this is like a mobile device being added to the list of other mobile devices that you have. I'm going to go ahead and open the Google Play Store right here. So double click on that. And it'll launch. First thing I would recommend is coming into this 3 bars, hitting on My Apps and Games. And let's see if it needs some updates real quick. No updates available. That's good. I'm going to go back and search for Gospel Living. Hit install on that, yeah. And then I'm going to go back over here and Gospel Library. Oh, so I'm part of the beta. It's not liking. It doesn't want to give this to me. Doggone it. Alright, well. The different apps that the church has published here. I don't really know why that's not letting me install it, but it doesn't seem to want to. That's alright. Since we've installed it, we can go back to home and then double click on the Gospel Living app and launch it. Now, unfortunately, I've already gone through this app for the first time. So if it's the first time that you're logging in, you'll be asked a couple of questions like to set up your circles and things. Go ahead and just go through that. I'll show you real quick. It just pops into this Discover page. The first thing I do is click on the profile. That's where you can sign into your church account right there. So I'm just going to and then the rest of this demo is just going to be kind of looking through the app itself. This is the main page. This is where all the church content is. So a couple of things that are really interesting. Well, I mean, Mormon messages are going to be in here. These little strive to be. They've got interesting, just little things that are meant to make you feel good, make you think. And I'll talk a little bit about what to do with these here in a minute. The scripture of the day, unfortunately, I can't show you the integration with the gospel library, but if you click on that, well, it looks like it'll go out to the website. That's nice. So interesting. If you had the Gospel Library app, it would open Gospel Library. So good, we can show you that. But scripture of the day is going to link you to the Come Follow Me scripture for the day. So throughout the week that you're supposed to be reading for the Sunday coming up, it'll have, so each day you can come into the Discover, hit scripture for the day, read your scripture, knock it out of the park. These Go and Do will have some audio. You can play the songs from the youth theme of the year. If I keep going down, personal development is going to click open this My Life area. So for instance, if I click open right now, you're going to see that I've kind of put in 4 goals as an example that you can put in your life. You can, first time you do it, it's going to tell you a little bit about it. But basically, you can create either goals or thoughts and impressions, and then label them in each of the areas of growth. I'm going to go back to Discover and scroll through, the Gospel Learning section. That's going to open the Come Follow Me lesson. Open that up, and again, it would either open Gospel Library or it opens right to the website here that I discovered as we were doing this video. But you can see the lesson plan for the current week for personal study, which is really nice. Click back on the Gospel Living app. Well, maybe. Come on. There we go. We're back. It's an emulator. It's not going to be perfect. So we're going to get back to this Discover section in a minute. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go to the next tab along the bottom. This is the Today feature. So in the Deacon's Quorum, last Tuesday, we had a week of service that we were kicking off. So that was our activity on Tuesday night, the service kickoff. And you can see when it was added to the calendar for the deacons, it has a name, a purpose, the person who organized it, one of our Deacon's Quorum presidency members there, when it starts, and the group. This is the circle that was invited. And then if you get in, like if you're in the Deacon's Quorum, you can click on yes, maybe, and no, so indicate that you're attending, etc. I'm just going to show you these. This is just the filters. Up in the top right is where I was. So you can tell it to show me a day, a week, or a month. And then if you've marked something completed or not, you can, you can turn off showing the completed if you would like. And then I'm just going to show you adding one. Again, you can add a photo if you want. New activity. Family, let's see. Family scripture study. Purpose. We're going to start it on Sunday. I'm going to say at, let's call it 8 p.m. as we're heading to bed. End date, I'm not going to put an end date. Could probably add a link, to some places in the scriptures or whatever. But right here, I'm going to go ahead and invite a circle. And the circle I'm going to invite is my household at this point. And the check mark up here is how you click save. So that's kind of adding an event into the calendaring section. Under My Life this is a place where you record impressions. You can do goals. If we click on the plus in the bottom right, again, here's a new impression, a new goal, right? I'm reading along in the scriptures. It impresses me. I type something that I can use in the future. But more than likely, why you're doing it here is so you can share it to your circles, if that makes sense. And again, you can put in filters, goals, impressions, items with reminders shared to circles, photos, just the filtering that happens inside the app. I probably should have come here first in the circles area. So circles is the big kind of sharing area. These are automatically built, so you can see that as an adult, and with a calling in the deacon's quorum, I have circles for the elders quorum, for the young men, for the youth, deacon's quorum, and the deacon's quorum presidency. So because of my calling, I have all of those. Because the org that I'm a part of at church is the elders quorum. And then my household is a unique definition that everybody should remember. What it means is the members of your family who are on the records of the church in the ward that you live. So if I click on this, you're going to see, I clicked on my household. To see the members, it's up here in the top right. So Carrie and I, as the administrators of that circle, Haley, Eden, and Ivy, these are the kids that are in my household because these are members of our ward. These are the 5 members of my household that are in our ward. I happen to have my oldest daughter who lives here at home with us, but she attends the YSA ward. So she is not in my household. Hopefully in the future that the church will allow us to create, something like my family, right? So just to be aware of. And then what I really like they've done here is that I can see my children's circles also. So notice for my kids, they also have one for their Sunday school class, and then their young women class that they're a part of, for both Ivy and Eden here. Interestingly enough, remember how we said in my household, I have 3 daughters in my household, and yet when I see my children's circles, I only see Eden and Ivy here. Well, my daughter Haley has turned 18, so it looks like the church removes the need for a parent to review the communication that is happening to someone who is 18 or over. The idea behind being able to see your children's circles is so that particularly youth leaders can communicate with them inside this app, and where it's public to parents and other leaders, they should, that gives some protection to the kids, where we used to have to, when you send a text message out to the kids, usually it was good to include parents and things like that. This kind of replaces the need to do that. All right, these circles are not editable yet, and there's no way to create your own yet. Sounds like that's coming from the church at some point. In your profile, hopefully at some point your picture will show up from the online directory. And you can come in, you can see it's got some information, my email, my phone number. Um, I can edit my preferences. This is going to give me some information about things that I would like to see, and it typically would bring them up to the top of the conversation in the Discover section. All right. So I have young women selected on mine right now. I'm going to go back to Discover here. So each day I come in here and let's say Lily, I'm interested in Lily's little blurb here. God will give us help and comfort. She says, I was adopted when I was 6. My mom was helping as a substitute in the preschool I used to go to when I was in foster care. She saw me and asked about her, and she said she was up for adoption. It's been pretty cool because I know what it's like not to have a family. I remember it, so that makes having a family even more special. So I could add this and say, I could create a new impression. Hey, Johnny in my deacon's quorum is adopted. He might like this item in gospel living. Remember to talk to him about it. But whatever, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and set up a reminder for Tuesday so that I remember, hey, remember as you're going to youth activities tonight, Johnny's article. So now I have a reminder set up with that and that link in there. And I did not add it to a circle. So this is meant for me. So when I come into my life, I'm going to see this impression that I recorded that's for me, not necessarily to share. So here's another one. Let's see if we can find I don't know. I mean, video, the Gospel Living app. It's finally here. In fact, I wonder what this is. This is a video. About the Gospel Living app. Cool. So a little marketing skiff about how the Gospel Living app works. And I might say, oh, I want to share that to my deacon's quorum. Say, hey, take a look at this with your parents to see all that the Gospel Living app can do. One of the other things that's nice in this, now I can go into that deacon's quorum circle, and you can see, so we've had some things in there. You can also see, if you come in here, let's see. Well, never mind. I don't know what I was going to tell. Sorry about that. So, I was going to... one more thing. Here's the youth. Oh, look at that. They must have moved it. But I was going to show you that this video, or this audio, will also just kick off here too. I don't know if you can hear it. But those are the individual songs. If you come down here, eventually somewhere in here, you'll see the whole album. Not just a single song. Which is what I thought I had saved. Boy, look at me going through all this. This is, again, starter app. Look, I can see that's last year's, that's 2019 music. Well, interesting that I can't find that. Maybe if I just only show music. By the way, that's my filter. Oh, let's see. Interesting. Well, couldn't find the whole album. No wonder my link doesn't work anymore. When that last thing I was going to show you there, the personal development will automatically go to the list of goals that you have set. So if you have created a goal, it'll automatically be set to that area in Discover called personal development. So some of these big blocks, these are going to be shortcuts to other areas, right? Or major areas within the program. And I think that covers just about everything. Within your circles and within your content, you can come in and you can say, hey, good job. So you can see that the deacons have started to use it a little bit, and hopefully we can see here's the deacons that have logged in, and here's the list of deacons that have not logged in. Anyway, I may need to go back through this video and start genericizing some of these names and stuff. Sorry about that. But I hope that gives you a pretty good idea. Again, the app that we downloaded is called BlueStacks. We then launched the Google Play Store, logging in with our username and password, our Google username and password. We installed the Gospel Living app, and then logged into the Gospel Living app with our LDS account. Right here, that's my LDS account. And then you could see that it launched outside into Google Chrome when it went to use any of the other apps. Or you could also download Gospel Library inside the Gospel Living app. BlueStacks does have the ability to have multiple installs on the same computer if you wanted to have different people using the different apps, but it's not very easy to set it up so more than 2 people can log in to the same Gospel Living app, if that makes sense. All right, well, thank you very much. I hope that was informative and interesting, and you'll start to explore the Gospel Living app. The church, I think, is just going to start doing more and more things inside this app, and I think we'll really start to enjoy using it together as families and as organizations of the church. Thank you.